Hey guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another video. This is an FPL Game Week 11 team selection with me, Ellie, and Yelena. As always, in this video, we're going to go through what happened in Game Week 10 super briefly, play our game, so you need a replacement, and see who's winning there. And then we're going to take a look at the best picks for Game Week 11, so stay tuned for that. Yelena, we're back. It's Friday. Happy Friday. Happy streaming day. Happy therapy session day. How are you doing?
We've got so much to celebrate today.
Except our FPL teams. That's the.
I know. I did my team selection earlier this week and I was moaning about a red arrow, but it was such a small red arrow and I've had a few greens which have really helped me out. And then I was like, what am I moaning about? Because at the start of the season, I'll just be positive.
So let me show you my team because Jesus, it's just so bad.
So you beat me.
No, I think I by 1 point I was worse off, but I did take a -4. So
okay,
like on technicalities, the team did slightly better, but I did take a -4. So I brought in Salah. I was like, I'm captaining Salah. What happened? Haaland finally goes and bags. So then that really hurt my rank. And then apart from that, the team just didn't do well. Like Newcastle, clean sheet wipeout. I had Udagi in there. He didn't play because he was injured. So Saka got me some points, Madison as well. But overall, I was so upset because Cole Palmer looked like there was 2 times I think that he looked like getting an assist and he didn't. And that was like my rogue fun pick. But overall, not captaining Haaland just totally destroyed me. And I think like I'm too scared to go against him now.
I'm in the same boat. My captaincy is going to stay on Haaland forever.
So let's take a look at your team because same thing happened to you. You went with Salah and then captain, and then Haaland kind of destroyed us both.
It's really unfortunate, isn't it? Because Salah, last two game weeks before this, we missed out on his points. We thought we were being smart. We thought whack the captaincy on him. Salah also, I don't think he even played that well, to be honest, in the game. It was one of those ones where I was like, I think I've made the wrong decision. But then Haaland, I did not see getting 2 goals and an assist. I knew Manchester United were weak, but I didn't realise they were going to be this bad. And also Man U, I think the first 5 minutes, they were kind of dominating the game. And I thought, oh, I've misjudged this. Haaland's not going to get me anything. But then lo and behold, he did what Haaland does and we've all paid for it, which is really disappointing.
I know. And I think the thing is as well with his effective ownership, that if he does well and you don't captain him, like it can really destroy, at least for me, it really destroyed. Obviously, if your captain does better than Haaland, then it's going to do fine. But just that possibility of him doing well, it's almost not worth it having him in your team if you're not captaining him at this point.
Well, Haaland can carry your whole team because if he does well like that, if the rest of your players are blanking or not doing very well, it doesn't matter because Haaland's managed to just like make a haul for all of them. I mean, I feel really sorry for people that captain Watkins. On paper, that was absolutely the best captaincy to go for. He's been the most consistent this season. Before that game, he only blanked once against Liverpool. He's constantly had attacking returns, even picking up assists. It was a Luton fixture. Like he had everything on paper pointed towards Ollie Watkins. I think he had the highest XG in that game that he's had the whole season. So he just got really unlucky. And it's annoying for us because there was a cross from Matty Cash and Watkins missed. But that could have just completely changed the dynamic of our team, getting that assist and that goal. So it's really slim pickings. And it's similar with Saka. He came off and then Arsenal get awarded a penalty. So it's just... We were saying before filming, like we've just become so unlucky with this game. It's really annoying.
I don't think I've ever been so unlucky. It's insane. And I saw like Matt on Twitter, for example, he captained Watkins, and I was like, that's such a bold pick. Like you deserve something from that.
Yeah,
And
big
it's just
time.
so unfortunate. But let's get into our game. So you need a replacement. I'm not catching up to you, Yelena, but
I'm going down, so it's fine.
You're going down and I'm just not getting points and the chat's going up. So it's fine. Who did you go with this week?
So I was walking my dog this morning, and I sent you my replacement last night, and I was like, I think I've made a mistake. Because Rashford this season hasn't been great. I think he's had 1 goal and 2 assists. We've seen Man U as a whole. They're just not doing well. And it's quite nice because I think it's taking a bit of heat off of Chelsea. Everyone's focused on Man U. But they are coming off the back of a 3-0 loss to Man City. And I think this week's fixture, they've got Fulham away. We may actually see Man U be fairly decent, but I'm banking on them not being. So I'm going to sell Haaland and I'm going to bring in Matoma. He's been better than Rashford this season. Sell Haaland, sell Rashford. But I'm bringing in Matoma, and he's been a lot better this season. He's had 3 goals and 3 assists. I think Brighton haven't won a game since game week 6. So they're not, I know, they've been drawing or obviously losing. But I think this could be the week we see Matoma back, and I'm a little bit nervous about not having him in my team. So that is Rashford out, Matoma in. I'm not feeling hugely confident about this one.
I've seen a lot of people transferring Matoma in, and I was like, should I be doing this? So for mine, this is actually the transfer that I made this week. Udagi out, Tsimikas in.
Oh, nice.
I really like the look at Tsimikas. When I bought him, since I beat the price rise, he was 4.5. They play Luton this week. And I just wasn't sure when Udagi was going to be fit, and my team is so thin that I have, since I have Salah in it, that I couldn't really be waiting around for him.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I'm necessarily going to see any attacking returns, but I'm hoping to get clean sheet points with this fixture. And what do you think of the chat? I have to see if this was the chat's pick at the time of me making the graphic. Let me make sure it's still the same. No, okay, they've totally changed. So the chat's gone for, instead of Neto out, Douglas Luiz in, they've gone way for Odegaard out and Buemo in. So we'll give you that one.
I don't know if you can see on my phone, but that was the one I voted for. I think it's a great shout. And Buemo, it's a really funny one because he obviously had, I think he did get lucky at the start of the season. He got like 2 penalties in a row. And then I think that was one I missed out on bringing him in. Then he had a few flat games. That was by, clicking on videos. And then this was around the point that people were thinking of using their wild cards. Everyone transfers him out. And then obviously last 2 game weeks, he's been so on it.
Yeah, and we saw what he did against Chelsea as well. So
yeah,
I'll give you that one. It won't be the one that's reflected in the graphic, but that's why you got to vote early, because I put it up and then I'm making the graphic. So make sure to be sub to the channel, have notifications on. Do you like how I slipped that in?
That was really good.
I know, right? So let's get into our game week 11 team. So this is my team. On paper, I really like it.
Every week.
Every week is different, right? I'm not sure who to go with for the goalkeeper. I feel like both have pretty difficult fixtures. But then in the back line, I have Cash, Trippier at home against Arsenal, and then Tsimikas. So I'm a little bit nervous about the Newcastle defense, but I do mainly have Trippier for the attacking returns. I do think that Newcastle are going to concede against Arsenal, but they are coming off of a really big win versus Man United in the Carabao Cup as well. And then in my midfield is where it gets interesting. I have Maddison, Saka, Bowen, Cole Palmer, and Salah. And then up front, Watkins and Haaland. So I feel like this is a pretty good team. I feel like Cole Palmer is looking like Chelsea's best player. And I feel like I've honestly been so unlucky not to get any returns from him, because when he's on the pitch, I do feel like he's at the heart of what Chelsea are doing and attacking. He did get an assist in the Carabao Cup. I know the opponent, but I think he's looking good, and I do think that Spurs are going to maybe play a bit more open, more open than teams that just attack with a low block. So maybe that allows space for Palmer to get in, but I'm really not sure what to expect from Chelsea in this game. But yeah, that's my team. I already had made my transfer pretty early so that I could not lose points because I don't have so much in the bank. What do you think of it?
I'm always so impressed. You always have some money in the bank. Mine's always like nothing. I've got no leeway. I really like it. I'm jealous. I was looking at doing Simicast in and I got priced out of it. So when I looked on Sunday night, I could afford it. I went to do my transfers yesterday, can't afford it. So if Simicast gets a clean sheet, I will not be celebrating. I'll be very jealous. But I think you're right with Trippier. I don't see Newcastle keeping a clean sheet, but you're paying extra for those attacking returns. And he seems to be on every assist going. So I think you'll be absolutely fine there. I've gone for Areola in goal as well. I think that's the better option out of him and Turner. But then this is FPL. So the sensible decisions are never the ones that pay off. And then your midfield, I love. It's so varied. It's a really exciting one. I think you're completely right about Palmer. And I really hope this is one of those players that you're ahead of. And then suddenly he's going to haul and everyone will bring him in, but you'll have already benefited massively. Do you know his ownership?
I don't, but I can check it. Oh, wait, why am I going to Twitter?
Well, whilst you look up the rest of the team, Watkins and Haaland at the front, I really like. And then obviously the captaincy on Haaland. If he can get 3 attacking returns against Man U, God knows what he'll do this week and at home. Because that's one of the reasons we didn't captain him last week, because he was playing away. And we're all saying, oh, his home form's much better than away form. And then he goes and does that. So hopefully we'll get a hat trick this week.
I know. And I was like highly considering putting it on Salah. So I'm sure that Salah's going to bag and then Haaland's going to do nothing this week. But I just don't want to go against him. And just to answer your question, Cole Palmer's ownership is only at 4.2%. And nice. He's currently at 5 million. So he has gone up 0.1 in price since they brought him in. But I think he's a super differential. I know that Chelsea don't have the best fixtures on paper, but arguably I feel like Chelsea play better against teams that are going to attack because it leaves more space, and this team does much better with open space than it does against a low block. We look stuck against a low block, but I think Palmer is a good shout. He's on penalties as well. So I'm praying that he gets something against Spurs.
It's going to be such a lively game. I'm hoping I think you're so right. We really do step it up against the tougher ones. And then it's the ones that you think we should just walk that seem to be a struggle.
Yep. So let's take a look at your team, because I feel like you always see my team and you're like, oh, I love your team. And I always see your team and I'm like, oh, I want your team. But the difference is your team actually does well.
I did have that red arrow, Ellie, don't forget. So I'm struggling this week because last week I benched Gordon and he managed to get a goal. And I don't know whether he's like coming into form now. As happy as I was that my differential managed to get a return, obviously it didn't actually benefit my team because he was on the bench. So this is my team. If I make no transfers, I would just bench Solanke, because Solanke only wanted in for the past 2 game weeks and I was going to transfer out. Man City away, I don't see him getting anything there. And then the rest of the bench is just very much redundant. So the starting lineup, I'm quite happy with. But one of the options I do have is to downgrade Destiny to Pinnock. So I'll bring in a Brentford player. And then take Solanke out for Darwin, because Darwin has really excited me in the last couple of game weeks. And he just seems, even if he's not starting, he comes on for like 20 minutes and he still manages to get a return. So I think that's one of those players that could really liven up the team. But I don't know, because last week, if I hadn't have made any changes to my team, I still would have had Son. I would have had his goal and my captaincy would have been on Haaland. So I think I would have been like 22 points or something better off. So I'm a bit nervous to go in and do 2 free transfers when actually this team might be better. What do you think?
It's so hard. So who would you bench?
So then I'd have to bench Gordon. Not Gordon. I'd have to bench McGinn. And then I would play Pinnock. I'd bench probably Burn. So I'd have Pinnock, Cash, Gahey. And then I would bench McGinn and bring in Darwin. So I'd have a front 3.
He actually does have a goal contribution in each of his last 3 games.
Yeah.
He has a goal and an assist, and then an assist and an assist. And who are Liverpool? Oh, so Liverpool playing Luton away, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I quite like that.
I know, it's quite exciting. And the thing is, Darwin is obviously going to outscore Solanke. And then Destiny, we don't really know what's happening with him at the moment. So I could downgrade to Pinnock. And Pinnock is coming off the back. I think he got a 15-pointer last week. But I think for Brentford, this week's fixture is good. And then we're going into more difficult ones. So he'd probably have to be benched. So I might have to use another transfer next week to try and sort out the defence. Because at the moment, I really like Burn, Cash and Gahey. But if you're chasing fixtures, they don't rotate brilliantly.
Yeah, that's the thing. Newcastle also have pretty poor fixtures on paper coming up. They play Arsenal.
And I don't have the luxury of Trippier where, like with you can rely on him probably getting attacking returns and making up for losing a clean sheet. But my original plan was just I had the exact money, Destiny to Simicast, Solanke to Darwin, and it was easy. But now we're having to kind of juggle it.
Yeah, that's why I moved early. Sometimes it bites me in the butt, but I was like, I want to beat the price rise.
Yeah, massively.
I think I would do it, honestly.
Ooh,
but
2 free transfers getting used.
I know, but I think if you're looking on paper, do Newcastle realistically keep a clean sheet this week against Arsenal? Probably not.
No.
And does Darwin score against Luton? He could potentially haul.
Yeah.
And now I'm jealous that I don't have him in my team.
I'm going to get a Sunday night message. You'll be like, I've brought him in. I've taken a hit. The Salah one was the funniest. I've never seen you heard you so angry.
Wait, what was it with Salah?
When you did your rage transfer.
Oh, I was so mad. I was like, I'm done. I quite like that. I think that makes sense.
Yeah.
So if I were you, I would do it.
I think long term as well, it does probably strengthen the team. And where I'm maybe missing out a bit on the defense, I'm making up for it in my attack.
Mm-hmm. Totally. And I don't think there's any clear-cut defensive options like there have been in years past, where you have somebody that's just like a total mainstay in your team. Like maybe the closest is Trippier, but he's not even in everybody's team because he's just so expensive. But there hasn't been somebody that I'm like, oh, I must absolutely hold on to them because the defense is so good.
Like this year in pre-season, when Reece James's price was announced in Chilwell, I was like, these two are going to stay in my team for the whole season. And look what happens. I thought they were going to be my set and forget.
I love set and forget. It is interesting because Reece James is back with the team. Let's see if he can hold on to fitness. And he could be an interesting shout because we know how forward he gets. Obviously, Chelsea have the poor run of fixtures until game week 16. So maybe after game week 16 could be a shout. Yeah. I wouldn't even be opposed to bringing him in for Chelsea's poor run of fixtures because I do think like Chelsea are going to need to get attacking return somewhere. But I would hold off if anybody's thinking about bringing James in because he's 5.3. Oh, he's only 3.5% owned.
That's shocking.
Which is very shocking. I would hold off and wait on him for a couple of weeks, see how he gets on. But he could potentially be a good pick for the future.
The other one I've got my eye on as well is I can never say his name, and you say it so well. Estupinian?
Yeah.
Because there was De Zerbi said last week that there was a chance he might play on Sunday. Obviously he didn't, he was rested. But then that makes me think, will he be back this week? And Brighton have got such a nice run of fixtures coming up. And if he comes back and he's playing how he was playing before, where he's very attacking, I think he could be a cheaper alternative to Trippier. Because I was looking at bringing him in this week, but I thought if we haven't got confirmation that he's going to play, I can't risk it. And I think I'm more tempted by Darwin. But if we do hear that he's back, I think next game week, that'll probably be a priority to try and figure a way to bring him back in.
Totally. I'm going to check. Do I have money to bring him in?
Going ahead of the game.
If I take like Lascelles out, I mean, I don't have any transfers, right? No, I don't.
Oh.
I would have to do a straight swap for cash for Stupinian.
No, it's too difficult, isn't it? I think Cash hasn't really, he's had a few blanks, but I really like him. And the upside of owning Cash, I think, outweighs. It's the similar with the Haaland, very much all or nothing.
Totally. So I think we've gotten through a lot. Let's hope for green arrows this week.
Yes.
Like our
We can
teams
celebrate together.
good on paper. I don't know. I haven't had a green arrow. Well, I had one green arrow, but it wasn't that big. So, but I think it's been like red, 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 small green, red, red.
It's fine. Cole Palmer, a million places. It'll be perfect.
Cole Palmer, if he hauls, oh my God. Gonna be happy Chelsea fan and happy FPL fan. So guys, thanks so much for tuning in. I hope that you enjoyed this FPL Game Week 11 team preview. If you like the channel, make sure to like and sub, comment, interact with us. Make sure to follow Yelena on her socials as well. Her channel and all of her social details are in the description and the title, as they always are. And we hope that you have a great rest of your day, evening, whatever time you're watching this. And until next week, we're out. Bye.
Bye.